Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly. I am so glad you guys are here. If you are a new subscriber or a new visitor, thank you so much for stopping by. You probably came here because today I'm talking about the Huda Beauty Naughty Nudes palette. This is not a new palette. If you are an existing subscriber, you may have heard me say already that this was kind of by request. They wanted some more information on the Naughty Nudes palette, especially in light of the Rose Quartz palette coming out recently. I've already done a video on Rose Quartz. I also did a video that'll go up before this where I compared the two palettes, these two together side by side. You'd think by the outside they wouldn't look anything alike, but I might have come up with pretty much exactly the same look, even though there's supposedly no dupe shades in this, at least not that they've admitted to anyway. So today I thought I would do a little bit more information for you guys. Thought I would do three looks with this one palette. I'm gonna do a look on one eye, a look on the other eye, take it all off, and then do a final look on both eyes that I'll just wear for the rest of the day. But one of the things, as a lady of a certain age, one of the things that I look for in an eyeshadow palette before I decide if I want to make a purchase for personal use is can I use the palette for multiple instances? Can I get a work look? Can I get more of a fun sort of weekend look? Can I get a date night look? If I can get multiple looks from the same palette, then it's probably a better value for me. I am not a makeup artist. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not sponsored, affiliated, endorsed. I have no relationship with Huda at all. Call me. Feel free to send me PR. That'd be fine. So let's get into this. What I'm gonna do is, I guess I'm just gonna start with, so I can tell you already, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. I've got this on both eyes already. It does give you maybe a little bit more opacity than, say, the Thrive Cosmetics 360, which I used when I did this video a couple days ago. So there's 18 shades in this palette. Gives you a lot to work with, although they're all similar color stories. You do have several dark browns. This one, and this one are all dark browns. You've got a gold. You've got kind of like a taupey shimmer in here. You've got like a raspberry shimmer, and then like a lighter one in here. And then you've got this other kind of gold marbled look in here. You've got a couple other marbled shadows, actually 3 other marble shadows. This one over here looks like it has a little bit of like blue or gray kind of shift to it, and then these 2 over here. So you've got a largely similar color story. Let's try to get some different looks and just see what we come up with. So the first shadow I'm going to go into is called Hypnotic, and I'm going to start this on this side over here. That's going to be like my transition shade. I'm going to take Juicy. So I started with Hypnotic right here. I'm going to go down to Juicy down here. This one and Arouse look very similar, which is the one right above it. A little bit of Kick Up in this palette. Such a pretty shade. I really feel like, are you guys close enough? I really feel like I could sheer this one out a little bit more, but we're just gonna leave this kind of bold look. Is this gonna be a date night look? No, I think, you know what? I might try to sheer that out just a little bit, because I think on this side, I think I'm gonna try to do a date night look on this. If you guys are a 3 shadow kind of a person, like you do a lighter color, a darker color, and a shimmer, or an even, you know, a different lighter color. It's kind of how I usually do my everyday eyeshadows. You really have almost like 6 different eye looks. This is a week's worth of eyeshadows. Next shade I'm going to try in here is called Spicy. This is the dark one. I think a lot of these colors, they pair really well with others because they're neutral, right? They don't have to match, they just have to go. So I find that shadows like this might go really well with plum, burgundy. You could do like a navy blue eyeliner. Obviously, you can do black eyeliners, brown eyeliners, gold. I think you have some versatility in there. So I'm keeping this darker shade, you know, at the lash line and then working it up just to give myself that. I'm gonna move you guys in. I think you're too far away. Okay, that feels a little bit better. Sorry. I just felt like you were in shadow a little bit, and I figured you're here for the eyeshadow, not to, you know, see my background. Okay, so I've got that darker shade all the way at the end, but I'm gonna take another shade here and kind of lighten it up a little bit. So I'm actually gonna try this shade called Hard. It's like a tan and burgundy brown kind of marbled shade, and I'm just gonna use that to sort of diffuse and dust out and sort of blend into that darker shade, but I'm bringing it in just a little bit further towards the center. I'm not gonna be able to use all the shadows in this particular look, just so you know. I'm not even gonna attempt it. I'm taking this darker raspberry shade called Desire. So I used Juicy, Spicy, Hard. I think I used Hypnotic too. Yeah, Hypnotic, and now I'm using Desire. And this one's going all over my movable lid, right? And I'm gonna go back into Hard and just kind of dust across the top and where I blended it into that super dark shade. Kind of a holiday, bold holiday look. I'm gonna go into Arouse, which is this one down here. Kind of a caramel color. And we're going to take that down underneath here. I've got a liquid eyeliner here, a black one. I'm going to grab this and try not to cover it up too much here. And this is what I would perhaps do for date night. I'm going to go back into Hypnotic, which is the lightest shade in this 6-pack of shadows down here. That in a little bit on the inner corner. It's not really an inner corner shadow, but I wanted to continue that shade from the top and make that red not go all the way into the inner corner of my eye. And then for fun, I'm actually going to put a little inner corner highlighter in there, but I'm going to grab from the Pat McGrath palette, blush palette she came out with for holiday. I'm going to put a little bit of it right there. Do a little cleanup and some mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, this is not necessarily the mascara I would use for date night. This is the L'Oreal Bambi Eyes mascara. I don't love it. I'm just trying to get through it because it's time to part ways. But that is the look that I created with the Naughty Nudes. It's a little bit more of a smoky date night kind of look, I would say, especially with that burgundy. I like it. It's a good holiday look, I think. Okay, let's lighten up the situation over here. We're gonna do something completely different on this eye over here. I'm gonna start with this marbled shade right here in the middle, which is called Flower Power. And it is a shimmer. I'm going to start with it down on my lid. I'm just taking it all over. I think this is could easily be just a topper, but I'm going to use it to begin my look. I'm going to take this shade right here called, what is it called? Provocative. And again, it's another marbled one. I'm just mixing the two of them together on kind of a flat brush and taking it up here. I feel like that burgundy that I used with this and then that shimmer I used to start with would make a really good holiday look too. This is coming across as very burgundy, and I like that kind of gleam underneath it from the first gold shade that we did. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called Please Me. I'm gonna take this on my finger and pat a little bit of it right here to kind of connect those 3 shades together. This shade that I just tapped on is probably one of my favorites for an all over the lid with a little bit of a matte, like a matte to kind of ground it on the outside. That's kind of one of my favorite looks to do. To use rough, I'm going to take rough right here and I'm going to just use it up over the back side and then into almost like a transition, just kind of using whatever's left on the brush to blend it out. And now I'm going to take the darkest shade in this section called Naughty, this one down here. And I'm going to take a little bit of it down here, right on the outside, as like an anchor to those shades. Let me put some mascara on, change my battery, and I'll be right back. Okay, back with look number 2 using the Huda Beauty Naughty Nudes palette. This is just a much more of a wearable, everyday kind of look for me. It's a little on the sparkly side. I didn't need any kind of inner corner highlight since I used that gold all over the lid to start with. And I think it's a very pretty soft look. Yeah, I got a little smoky with the dark shadows underneath. That's just what I do. I tend to get a little overboard. I don't usually use eyeliner like I did with this one. This is something that I would absolutely do on just a regular basis. And I didn't use this Shameless shade in this section. It almost looks a little bit like a duochrome, but I used that in the look that I used with when I compared the two, so I kind of skipped that one and pretty much just stayed to the rest of these shades in a second. So let's go hop over to this last section right here. We'll do a look with these and we'll call it a day. Give me just a moment, I'll be right back. Cleaned up a little bit. I did go back in and put in the Thrive 360. I am a little darkened through here. I'll fix that once we get done with the eyeshadow. I'm not finding a ton of fallout on this palette, so in case that was something of interest to you. So let's do a third and final look. Is it really the fourth look? I'm gonna grab the lightest shade in here, which is called Filthy. Do they need to have everything be overtly sexualized? I don't know. That actually might have probably turned me off purchasing this palette when it first came out. Eventually, I think I ran across a Huda sale and I was like, okay, well, let's just go ahead and do that. Bite the bullet and do it. You know, if there's something that sort of interests you, but you don't necessarily need it, wait for the sale. My take on it is if you miss it, wasn't meant to be. I'm gonna take a little bit of Untamed and we're just gonna try to keep this into the crease. This definitely, with that first Filthy shade, this feels way more plum purpley, a lot more on the rose quartz side than say all the warm chocolate browns that you get in this palette. This definitely gives it that kind of purple look. And I've got a little bit in there and I'm just kind of blending it into Filthy. I might go back into a little bit more of Filthy just up here on the top. Grab a little bit more of Untamed. And if you guys have hooded, smaller, mature eyes like I do, one of the things that I do is I tend to tap on the color first into the area and then buff it out, as opposed to just going in with kind of small circles or winch wiper motions, because sometimes it'll skip on those mature lids. You guys probably know that already. I don't know why I'm giving you guys like makeup advice, because you guys probably are more professional makeup artists than I am. Doing what we can with what we have. Okay, definitely more on the purple side. I'm gonna keep it purple. I'm gonna go into Passion, which is this marble down here. And we're just gonna pick, we're not picking up one, picking up all. And this is a really beautiful shade. I'm keeping it down below that crease shade that I used earlier, that darker shade. I'm really kind of keeping it out here at the end. It does have a little bit of sheen to it. Kind of be expecting of that. When I swatch it on my hand, it definitely comes through as a purple streak, but when I place it on my eye, there's a little bit more blue to it, I feel. Like it depends on where you're grabbing stuff from the hand. And that one I feel like gave me a little bit more fallout than what I was seeing before. It was probably I'm guessing it was more of the brush that I changed to use. I'm going to take the shade called Irresistible, which is this one right here, and knock it right on. Whole movable lid situation. This one is a really, really pretty rose gold. There's several of these almost like pinky rose gold colors in here. This one's maybe not quite so gold as, say, Shameless, but they're pretty similar. Maybe more copper than gold. Okay, and then for fun, because that one is pretty glittery, I'm going to take this metallic right here called Tantrific. A little bit right there. I need a clean brush. Now, I do have probably some dregs of mascara and makeup on from earlier. Well, that earlier look that I did, so it does already look smudged. I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna go in and do like a major cleanup. It's kind of look that I would do anyway. I feel like I need to kind of buff in this a little bit more, so I just grabbed a clean brush. I just want to make sure that that's softer. I like this kind of purpley sparkly daytime look too. And honestly, I could see throwing on some lashes or some darker eyeliner and doing something like this for date night too. I think it would be completely appropriate. But for now, it's kind of a fun daytime look. I think I'm gonna leave it eyeliner-less. I'm gonna put on some of the Rare Beauty mascara and then I'll be right back. Back with some mascara. This Rare Beauty mascara, if you guys, and the component's like really dirty right now because it's like a matte container, but now it's got makeup all over it because I can't keep it off my hands when I'm playing with makeup. Anyway, this is one of those ridiculously long wearing mascaras. So if you struggle with, like some mascaras you use and you go later on, you go, oh, where did my mascara go? Because you're touching your makeup before you go do something, or maybe, you know, you have to touch your makeup anyway to kind of refresh things. And then the mascara is gone and then you're finding yourself putting on more and more and more mascara. I find that with the Rare Beauty one, and I was really reluctant to try it at first, but once I did try it and I realized the stuff stays on for a very long time. Like it's hard for me to get it off at the end of the day as well, because it's just there. It's there and it's as Cardi B would say, when you're up, you're stuck. Mascara. Okay, this look right here, I feel actually is almost a little bit more rose quartzy than Naughty Nudie. And so I'm gonna hold up this is the Rose Quartz palette. I feel like I could get this look with the purples and the pinks and the sparkly rose golds. And yet I got it from Naughty Nudes. So there's at least two full different looks that I feel like the two palettes kind of overlap, just in case that was a question for you if you got one and not the other. I feel like the Naughty Nudes to me is a warm, cozy, it's a palette I reach for. I honestly really feel like I can get, you know, for work, I tend to do nudes, right? So I might do this one or maybe even that one and kind of share it out. Maybe one of these darker shades as a liner, and that's pretty much all I do for work. This doesn't give me really a cool tone work look, although this shade right here all over the lid is gorgeous. That's one of my favorites. Favorite, like easy to use shades. This one here, I think this one's more versatile for me. I can do a cool tone work look, a warm work look, and then I have the fun shade. So this is a little bit more of a versatile palette in my book. When I first looked at this, when I first saw it and I first was looking at this, I'm like, okay, pastel pink, pastel lavender. All I could see were these pastels, and then this one that I've never even used before, which is pretty, but again, another pink. And I don't wear a ton of pastel-y kind of colors, but I do feel like you've got a warm grounding color and a cool tone grounding color. This purple right here is actually a really beautiful, deep, like indigo purple, really, really gorgeous. These iridescents here, this one and this one, have like blue shifts to them. They're blue, but are they pink? Are they blue? Are they fuchsia? I don't know. I like this look too. I honestly am not sure which palette I prefer. If I had to choose, for me personally, am I really gonna say that? I'm gonna say something a little controversial. I would have gone into this conversation really thinking that the Naughty Nudes was going to be my hands down winner. I've got some burgundies, I've got my browns, I've got my warm neutrals. I would have thought this would have been my favorite. This one, I would have thought, oh no, it's too pastel-y. Immediately written it off. But this one I think actually gives me a little bit more versatility, and for a variety of instances. I don't know, you guys leave me a comment down below. Tell me what are your takes on both of these palettes. I would love to know. Do you like any of the looks that I came up with Naughty Nudes? I think there were some mixed reviews on the rose quartz when I did 3 looks of that one palette. I think one look seemed to have been a clear winner. The other 2 were like, so. If you were not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button before you go if it's your time to leave. I wish you well. Tell me how you feel about Huda. Are you absolutely in love with it, or have you never even tried it? Or are you somewhere in the middle where it's like, take it or leave it? Would love to know kind of your take on the whole Huda Beauty line, what you like, what you don't like. There's some kind of standout winners. I have more of an appreciation for her 18 pan palettes than say the 9s. Some of the 9 ones, the color choice I really like. Her pastel ones, I couldn't get into. I didn't even try them. Couldn't get into them. Anyway, I don't know if that helps you guys at all. I'm no expert on this stuff. It's just my personal opinion. So I hope you guys are doing really well. And until my next video, bye for now. Are you leaving? Where are you going to be? Are you walking down? Who are you going with? When do you think you'll be home? You don't have any homework to do this weekend?